The shooting of Trayvon Martin has grabbed national headlines.
Trayvon Martin is, of course, the unarmed teen who was shot and killed by a neighborhood watch captain last month in Florida.
His parents, Tracy Martin and Sybrina Fulton, along with their lawyer, Ben Crump, are with us now from their home at Lake Mary, Florida. We welcome you all joining us this morning. And Sybrina Fulton, I want to start with you because I saw you yesterday on the news. My heart goes out to you. I heard you say, I don't even know how I'm standing at this point. I don't either, which makes us even more appreciative that you've joined us here this morning. We really appreciate it. I want you to know that before we get started in the conversation.
Thank you.
Yesterday at the rally, you said that you were not satisfied that the police chief, Bill Lee, has stepped aside. What is it that you ultimately want?
In reference to Bill Lee or in reference to the case in general?
Well, you said that you wanted more than just Bill Lee stepping aside. Let's start with that.
What I meant by that is that we want an arrest. We want George Zimmerman arrested for this crime.
Have you heard from George Zimmerman? Are you even interested in speaking with George Zimmerman?
I have not heard from George Zimmerman, but this is an open investigation, and I'm sure they're going to be talking to him very soon.
Tracy Martin, does it give you any comfort to know that the whole nation, everybody in the nation knows your son's name? I was very touched by Al Sharpton yesterday, who lost his mother. His mother died yesterday, but yet he still came to the rally, and he encouraged everyone in the crowd to remain calm, do not misbehave, to give people something more to talk about in this case. What are your thoughts about that?
First of all, I'd like to commend Reverend Sharpton for stepping in and standing in with us, even though he had with the death of his mom.
Mm-hmm.
He had a big part in controlling the crowd. Everyone out there, to hear everyone out there in the crowd screaming Trayvon's name, it just made us feel that Trayvon life did matter, and the world knows Trayvon now.
Tracy, there's been a lot of talk about this young girl who Trayvon was on the phone with right before his life was taken, a phone call that was not recorded, but much has been said about that conversation. Have either you, Tracy, or Sybrina, have you spoken with her, and has she been able to offer any more insight?
She did make a statement, and yes, we are in contact with her.
And has she been able to offer anything additional to you, just in terms of what she heard?
Well, she does recaps what happened that particular night as far as she can hear over the phone. She had been on the phone with Trayvon all day. They're teenagers, so of course they love the telephone. Mm-hmm. On the way to the store, he probably was talking to her as well. On the way back, he was talking to her. So she recaps that incident.
Let me take this for a moment beyond the law and have you just remind us who Trayvon was and what kind of young man he was.
Very bright young man. Trayvon loved his life. He loved his family. Very upbeat kid, mild, laid back. Never been in a run-in. Never had any run-ins with the law. Trayvon was a people's person. Mm. He was my hero. Mm. And he'll be sadly missed.
Why was he your hero?
Trayvon saved my life. At the age of 9, he pulled me out of a fire, went back in the house, got the phone, came back out, called 911. He saved my life. And at his time of need, I wasn't there to save his life, but I pledged my life to continue to push forward until we get justice for my son.
Well, you all have both said that you do not want his death to be in vain, and I don't think that that has happened because now, as I said before, everybody in the country is talking about this case. And I'd like to talk to you about a conversation that I have had in my own home. I have a 24-year-old son, and every black mother I know, I don't care what she does for a living or who she is, has had what we call the conversation with our young sons about how to react if you're ever in an encounter with the police or someone in an authority position. Had you all ever had that conversation with Trayvon?
Yes, we have.
What did you told him, Sybrina?
Well, we talked to him, of course, about the birds and the bees, but this was a different conversation. We have talked to him. Trayvon has a grandfather that is a retired police officer in Miami. So he knows to respect authority. He knows about the police. He's not afraid of the police. However, he's seen this guy as a stranger. So of course, he's gonna try to run. He's gonna try to get away. He's gonna try to avoid any situation. And that's what we really believe, that he was really trying to get away.
Does it make any sense to you that he would have confronted George Zimmerman, especially if you're saying he had no idea who he was?
No, he would not have confronted him. Trayvon did not have a weapon on him. It just makes more sense just to, you know, if you have a gun to confront somebody. It's clear to us that he was trying to get away.
It's my understanding that you all have been invited to the Justice Department to meet with officials there. Does that give you some encouragement that this case is being taken very, very seriously?
We've met with the Justice Department on yesterday.
Yeah, I had heard from our reporter that you had been invited to Washington to go down to have further conversations.
Yes, that's a separate meeting, but on yesterday we did meet with the Department of Justice.
All right.
They talked about their investigation.
All right. We thank you. We thank you, Tracy Martin and Sybrina Fulton. Again, I am so, so sorry this has happened to you, and I thank you for taking the time. I know it's extremely difficult to have this conversation.
Thank you.
Thank you.